Welcome back. It's so good to see you again. You may recall a while ago, I did a video showing off my oldest computer, the PowerBook 1400 CS 266, and discovered in the process of that video that it's got a very problematic operating system. It's got Mac OS 9.1, which is the latest that the machine can run. But the seller, rather than reinstalling the operating system, evidently deleted the entire applications folder. So the machine, as it is useless. And the only connectivity is a floppy drive. Now, the obvious thing to do in this situation is to reinstall the operating system, or an operating system, so the machine can at least be functional. But all it has is that floppy drive. It's got no network capabilities at all. And I got a PC Ethernet card, but the drivers are on a CD. I don't know. So anyhow, I did find at Macintosh Repository image files for the installers of Mac OS 8.0, which happens to be what this machine shipped with in the first place. So I have created the floppy disks. All 27 of them, and I propose today to install Mac OS 8.0 on that machine. Now, truth to tell, I have my doubts about this. Making the disks was kind of difficult, given that nobody has floppy drives anymore. I managed to do it, but we'll see. If it works, great. If not, it's pretty much a useless machine right now anyway. So, let's have a try. I hope you can join me for this. It's different anyway, something I have never done, install an operating system completely on floppy disks. So stay tuned. Alright, here we are. I apologize for the flicker. It of course isn't apparent on the actual screen at all. I'm not quite sure why. This is usually what one sees with CRTs. Alright. So I'm going to attempt now to roll this back from Mac OS 9.1 to Mac OS 8.0, the original Mac OS 8, without a CD drive, because this thing doesn't have one. So I have my 27 floppy disks. Now, I don't actually hold out a lot of hope for this working, if only because I was not able to make the floppy disks in exactly the way that I wanted to. You're supposed to be able to use disk copy. I was unable to do that because in going into OS 9 on the towers, on the Power Macs, the option for make a floppy in disk copy is grayed out. I assume that's because those machines have no built-in floppy drives. I was using a USB drive. Well, by the way, if you take a look around the screen, you're going to notice a couple of things. No, it is not 4:08 a.m. right now. I have not bought. I can't fix the clock actually, because since someone at some point with this machine deleted the entire applications folder. The date and time application isn't there. Oh well, let's insert. Oh, you're in my way, guys. So I'm going to have to move that back a little bit. Disk number 1. And nothing is happening. Well, that kind of stinks. Okay, let's... Ah! It came up! Hooray! Alright, now, I can't boot from it. I tried that, testing it when I first made the disk. However, we have here the installer. This is going to take forever. All right. Okay, now we can click continue. And agree. All right. Please choose a different destination drive or perform a clean install. Options. Install new system folder. Yeah, I mean, it couldn't install OS 8 over OS 9. Yeah, it will not do that. So what it's going to do is erase everything. Now, if this doesn't work, I'm going to have a completely dysfunctional system, but that's okay because that's pretty much what it is now. So let's give it a try. Clean install. Please insert disk 2. I have disk 2. And I cleverly set this up so the tripod is very much in the way. There's disk 2. Well, I mean, it appears to be doing it. Okay, now obviously this is going to take forever. So I am going to stop this now and we'll pick it up when something happens. Well, here we go. All the way up to disk 3. At this rate, this should be done by next week. This is disk 3, only 24 more to go. Yeah, I can see this is shaping up. Although I already feel ahead of the game because it does seem to be working. kind of cute looking at this. Now install 2, which we just did, 3, which is working, 4 and 5, and then this whole stack of floppy disks on the end. This is an adventure. I'm kind of glad I'm doing this just for the experience. But, oh, good Lord, 27 floppy disks. And we complain about how slow CDs and DVD installations are. Well, stay tuned. Oh, look at this. Oh, it already wants disc 4. That was a fast one. Yeah, so you can see that how it moves onto install 4, then it'll move to install 5 and gradually reconfigure as we go here. Oh man. Yeah, it was those first couple of discs that were really slowest. And now it's only 23 to go. Okay. Closing files? Huh. No? Wow. Okay. And there's disk 5. It is actually working, isn't it? Now, let's hope that I don't jinx this, because we are on disc 5 of 27. There's plenty of room for catastrophic failure. And this one's taking longer again. Nope, it's closing files. Little machine. Here's disk 6. All right, I'm going to let it do several disks here because you've seen enough to get the idea of how this is this shapes up. So we'll be back. It has just asked for disk 8. It's gotten a little more interesting to watch. We'll see if it does it here. Because, yeah, it is in fact telling you exactly what it's doing. You know, which extensions it's installing at any particular time. Which has been kind of interesting to watch that go past. All right, just still doing color picker. File sharing extension. Numbers, map. Yeah, it'll be an older operating system, but it'll be an operating system anyway. And I can go from there. All right, well, stay tuned. A milestone of sorts. We've just reached disk 10, so we are well more than 1/3 of the way through this. It is taking longer. But not that much more than a CD or DVD install. The big difference, though, is you can't go anyplace. You have to sit here monitoring it constantly so that you'll know when to stick the next diskette in. Oh, well, as I say, it's an experience, and I am glad as a vintage computer hobbyist to have had this experience, and I hope you're finding it interesting to be sharing it with you. Yeah, I just let it do the easy install. What the heck. Okay, well, please stay tuned. All right, we have another milestone. Disc 14. When we get halfway through disc 14, we will be literally halfway through the installation. And you can see that the pile of discs over on the left has now grown to be pretty much equivalent to the pile of discs over on the right. In fact, it's a little bit bigger since you see 15 and 16 there. Oh, wow. Quite the thing here. And this marks the first time that I have ever installed any version of Mac OS 8. At least on real hardware. I had installed it in the past. I had an installation of 8.6 on Sheep Shaver. But, yeah, I mean, emulators are cool, but it's just not the same thing as the real hardware. And so the first one I'm doing is the very first version of Mac OS 8. And doing it on the floppy disks. And we are done with 14, on to 15. OS 8 did in fact come on a CD. In fact, I saw something interesting on eBay just today. And it was pretty darn cheap. I bought it, $14 and free shipping. It was a CD, an installation CD for Mac OS 8, 8.0. And what I found interesting was it's intended for, oh, that was quick, for power computing. Power computing was a clone maker. I think they were the first of the clone makers to be approved by Apple. That's interesting. Hardly anything on disk 60. macOS disk 1. Aha. We can do that. Back to disk 1. An error. Oh, Lordy. Okay. So, I could either try this again, or, darn it, and I was up to disk 17 too. I could try this again. I wonder. See, redo custom install. Okay. Well, universal system for any supported computer. System software for this computer. We'll put on multimedia. Networking, we do want it connected. Utility. Check and see what utility is here. Apple script, color sync control. Yeah, we certainly need that. International. No, wait a minute. I just selected international. I wanted to. We can do without that. We need that. Now, we can select. Oops. All right, Apple menu items. Yes. CD audio player, yeah, I think so. Calculator, find file, graphing calculator. We can live without the jigsaw puzzle. Okay. Control panels. Okay, we won't do desktop pictures. Although, I mean, this is all the stuff that no, wait a minute. I'm doing this wrong, aren't I? I'm selecting the ones that I don't want. Okay, so we're going to select control panels. I don't think I'm ever going to upgrade the processor, but appearance. Okay, we'll get to desktop pictures. Energy saver, since the battery's completely dead, that doesn't really matter. Infrared, no. What the keyboard launcher, Mac OS Easy Open, I don't even know what that is. Power Macintosh card. Time settings, screen, serial switch, sound, startup disk. Yeah, we need most of this. Text, trackpad, users and groups. What's in extensions? Okay. Printer share. I'm not ever going to print anything from this. Quadras. This isn't a quadra. Okay. And then finally the fonts. We need some fonts, don't we? Chicago's the traditional one. Courier. In fact, it'd be easier to select them all. Okay, so I'm going to try this again, and I'm not going to make you sit through all of that, but we shall see. So stay tuned. I don't have a good feeling. It just asked for disk 1. It had just finished 15. Finishing installation. Oh. Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to have to call this now. Unfortunately, I'm afraid we're not going to be able to get OS 8 installed. I may try yeah, it's going to come back to this poor version of the operating system. But yeah, something tends to go wrong. Last time it was at disk 17. It spit out disk 17 and asked for disk 1 again. This time it only got to 15 and asked for disk 1. I can try recreating disk 1, in case that's the problem, but I tend to think not. It may be one of the later ones. I really don't know. Uh, but I mean, there is good news. In my eBay scouring, I did manage to find a CD drive for this machine. It swaps out. You can take out the floppy drive and put in the CD drive. Uh, so that's a possibility anyway. And with that, I mean, I can try if that disk comes in to install a Power Computing OS 8.0, which would be cool to at least try. Or I do have a legitimate retail 8.6 disk. But anyhow, I'm sorry to leave you on the negative note. At least we can see that in doing this, uh, nothing was lost anyway. We still have this crippled installation of 9.1. So yeah, so that's good to know that it didn't just completely erase the disk. It was saving everything in case this happened. Oh well, my apologies. I hope I didn't get your hopes up too much. But still, please be good to other people, maybe particularly me, because I really need it right now. Be good to yourselves. Take very good and careful care. And we'll be back, hopefully, with something more successful.